Welcome to Epic Worldview. I'm Kevin Parker. What is happening in WandaVision and who is the big bad really? This is your spoiler warning for everything through episode 6 and beyond in case I get any of this right and ruin the last 3 episodes for you. Let's begin. In episode 5, Wanda's brother Pietro mysteriously shows up, but instead of the Pietro we know, he looks like Pietro Maximoff from the Fox X-Men universe. This is not Pietro, and it's not Quicksilver from the Fox universe either. I believe this is Varney, the original Lord of Vampires. And I don't believe he's actually the big bad. Let's start with Varney, and then I'll introduce who I think is the main villain here. In Marvel Comics, Varney was a human sorcerer who served in the cult of the Darkholders. In Atlantis, before it sank, Varney was gravely injured, so he volunteered for the sorcerers of Atlantis to transform him as a member of the first group of vampires. In 1000 CE or AD, Varney fought Thor. In 1459, Varney chose Dracula as his successor as the Lord of Earth's vampires, making Dracula drink his blood. Then he committed suicide by exposing himself to direct sunlight. Many years later, Marie Laveau was desperate to collect vampire blood so she could use it to again prevent herself from aging. She tried to force Doctor Strange to give her the vampiric versus spell from the Book of Vishanti, which is the white magic counterpart to the Darkhold. Strange banished the page away from Earth, so Laveau used a spell from the Darkhold to resurrect the Lord of Vampires. Varney sprang to life and Doctor Strange battled him until Varney fled. Varney himself had wanted to be Sorcerer Supreme before he became a vampire. At least now with Doctor Strange, Varney felt he finally had a worthy foe. Varney would also cross paths with Blade. Why do I believe fake Pietro is Varney? Consider Varney's powers: superhuman speed and agility, strength, stamina, healing factor, and shapeshifting. He also has hypnotism, telepathy, and immortality. It is not known to what extent Varney can shapeshift, other than into a giant bat, wolf, or mist. He can also alter his size to at least 25 feet. Weaknesses include sunlight, silver, ancient religious icons, impalement, beheading, and he must also have homeland soil in his coffin to travel more than 100 miles away, must consume fresh blood of living individuals, or he'll weaken into a coma. Let's look at Pietro's appearances so far. When he first appears, he asks to be invited into the residence, which is typical of vampires, and listen to what he says.
Long lost bro, get to squeeze his stinking sister to death or what?
You didn't see that coming.
In the intro, he is seen giving what resembles the sign of the horns, but it's facing him and has this thumb out, like he's saying, "I love you" to himself. John Lennon did it, Spider-Man does it, but what does it mean here?
You scared? He's your uncle. Why would I be scared? Because it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon and you're secretly afraid he's a vampire. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. No, I'm not.
You didn't see that coming?
But if he is a vampire, why can't he go outside in the daytime? Well, this isn't really sunlight. Wanda has it lit up, but it is nighttime outside the Hex. Why does he show up on camera in the intro and during the show at all, since vampires usually don't cast reflections or images onto cameras? I'm pretty sure that there are no cameras, and that this is just that magical projection of the show outside of the Hex. And just look how he drinks from a can! They are very careful to cover up this mirror in shots with Wanda and Vision, but then here, we never see a reflection. Maybe it's the angle, or not. Listen to him yell, "Unleash hell, demon spawn!" In the comics, Tommy and Billy start out as fragments of Mephisto's soul, and Mephisto is basically the stand-in for Satan in Marvel. Details are conveniently fuzzy here. Then he says,
"Damn it if Westview, New Jersey isn't charming as hell."
Pietro is also very aware of what is going on around them, unlike Vision and others, and he has lots of questions.
Where were you hiding all these kids up till now?
What?
I'm impressed. Seriously. It's a pretty big leap from giving people nightmares and shooting red wiggly woos out of your hands. How'd you even do all this?
The film playing in the background is The Creature Walks Among Us, a 1956 film that was the end of a trilogy for Creature from the Black Lagoon. It most directly applies to Vision here, as he has been made to look more human and to walk among humans, but really he is trying his best to escape, which is a summary of the creature from the film. The title, though, can also apply to our man Pietro, who I'm positing is Varney. If this is a vampire, then he will have to feed off people in the town. So how does Varney tie into Wanda? Through an incredibly powerful demon named Chthon. I believe currently that he is the big bad of the series and will continue into Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Cathon was one of 4 elder gods and was Earth's first practitioner of black magic. Cathon and other elder gods corrupted into demons and were hunted by Demogorg, the God Eater. Cathon escaped destruction by creating another dimension known as the Flickering Realms, also known as Calais or Other Realm. This realm became one of the first 2 inner planes, along with his brother's realm known as Serpent Sea. These inner planes planes or dimensions located in the close vicinity of Earth. Chthon wrote down his vast dark magic knowledge onto pages that would be bound together to become the Darkhold, which we saw introduced in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Chthon was trapped in his dimension, but could still influence Earth. A loophole in his exile was that he could be invited back to Earth. Chthon created several beings, both spawn and magical creations, including the Wolfmen of Volusia. These are the names of Wolf Lords, and I'll let you try to pronounce them. The Darkhold scrolls first found their way to pre-cataclysmic Atlantis, that is, before Atlantis sank, and were used to create the first vampires, including Varnae. This demon also created the first zombies. He really must be fun at parties. His powers include dark and chaos magic mastery, which can remake all of reality and even destroy the universe. He has other realm control and telepathy. Chthon was able to possess people and work through mystics who sold their souls to him for power. He often operated on Earth through a being called the Other, which can manifest in any way it chooses. Chthon would work through the Other until he could break free from his dimension. His weaknesses include dimensional entrapment, dependency on extra-dimensional living vessels. If the physical mind of the one he possessed was somehow disrupted, Chthon would temporarily be deprived of spellcasting ability. He was vulnerable to eldritch magic, including that of the Darkhold. At one point, Chthon fought against an army created by the High Evolutionary that was led by Agnes, driving Chthon back to his mountain slumber. But before he was driven away, Chthon reached out and touched an infant girl, giving her a small portion of his chaos power. That girl was Wanda Maximoff. Chthon has possessed Wanda's mind in the comics. He could be attempting to fully assimilate her in Westview in an attempt to build a stable bridge from his other realm to Earth, in an attempt to return and subdue the planet. Varney has some association with Chthon in the past, so he could be Chthon's agent. Perhaps his character is being combined with the Other in the MCU, similar to other characters like Ego as Star-Lord's father. What about Mephisto? It could be that it's not Chthon at all, and that all of this is the work of Mephisto. Pietro himself could be Mephisto. In the comics, Tommy and Billy were initially created from pieces of Mephisto's soul. He later reclaimed and reabsorbed the twins, ending their existence. But Mephisto is not able to force sentient beings to bend to his will the way Wanda is doing with what seems to be chaos magic. Then there's Agnes. It feels fairly certain that she is Agatha Harkness, the very old witch who trained Wanda in the use of magic, including how to wield her chaos magic in the comics. Harkness also became governess to Sue and Reed Richards' son Franklin, similar to how she has become part of the WandaVision family here. When Mephisto reabsorbed Tommy and Billy, Harkness made Wanda forget they existed. That didn't all end well, and eventually the twins were reborn. What about Agnes's husband Ralph? We have heard about him several times, like how he looks better in the dark when Wanda knocked out the power. The name Ralph was derived from Old Norse words that meant Council of Wolf, or something similar to that. Could he be one of the Wolf Lords, the spawn of Cathon? Or maybe Ralph is Mephisto, or Chthon's Other, or nobody. And what about Dottie? She still seems sus to me. What about Director Hayward? He seems like a misdirect to me. Maybe he's just a huge jerk, or maybe he's Hydra. What was he doing with Vision's body, and what is Project Cataract? Was he trying to reverse engineer Ultron? There is so much going on.
Details are fuzzy, man.
None of this makes sense.
That was dramatic.
Chthon and Varnae teaming up would give natural tie-ins to Doctor Strange, Dracula, Blade, and other characters. The real danger here is that Chthon will possess Wanda and use her power to come fully into our dimension. I predict that Doctor Strange and possibly Spider-Man will be battling Wanda in their films, but that Wanda will not be in control.
You didn't see that coming?
Now consider all of this with the words to the theme song for this episode. Don't try to fight the chaos. Don't question what you've done, Wanda. The game can try to play us. Don't let it stop the fun. Some days it's all confusion. Easy come and easy go. Poor Vision. But if it's all illusion, sit back and enjoy the show. Let's keep it going through each distorted day. Let's keep it going, though there may be no way of knowing who's coming out to play. Yeah. But let me know in the comments what you think. Be sure to like and subscribe and follow me on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram at JKevinParker. And may your worldview be increasingly epic.